are we ready to begin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right, so to kind of recap from last week, for those of us that weren't here but also were here and kind of were instructed as to what happened. We had the rumble in the bar, and everyone decided that they wanted to take ownership, so they are now collectively, right now I should say collectively, owners of the Wayside Inn. Bax escaped. He busted his way out the door. He dropped the scrying components for the map, but had already seen the locations that the map illuminated. The most important one of which was the centralized point that Azzy, being the slick individual he was, also saw and remembered because of some really sweet feats that he took, which normally wouldn't be something that a tank would take, but right now it's kind of saving everyone's ass. So, hold on, my phone is ringing. Give me 1 second.
No working.
Oh, but
Hello?
he's on call.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely
Thank you
not.
for
It
being
is
versatile,
D&D night.
Knight.
This is unacceptable. Junie, I'm revoking your best DM privileges.
Oh.
Damn.
That was kind of my thought as well, Caster. Is Azzy taking what the fuck is the name of that feat?
Keen mind.
It's literally
Is it-
King Mind.
Okay. I wasn't sure if is it Keen Mind or something else that sounds equally aloof and weird. Nope. But yes, that is an awesome feat.
When we were leveling up the first time we leveled up, I asked if anybody else was gonna take it, and nobody said yes. So I was like, all right, well, I'm taking it then.
Well, that answers that question.
As like the most useless person in the party, I'm glad to have been of some use.
But you keep us safe by taking all the crits.
Well, when you're right, you're right. I am quite literally the definition of a meat shield.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, though. When you weren't here last week, you didn't take any crits to the face.
Oh, that's news. That's news to me.
He only dropped down to 10 HP too, guys. That was great.
But you know what's funny? He actually called that last week. I think it was last Sunday.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was last Saturday. I think we were out getting tea or something, and he was like, "So you know that John's not going to crit you when it's you playing me."
Called it.
Not surprise me.
They were saving for this next fight.
Oh, no, don't say that, because John took the training wheels off. Death
First
is possible now.
Is the tank.
That's
You're
fine.
doing your job.
I'm actually really hard to kill. Like, I have to be playing pretty stupidly in order to die.
Yeah. With what Knight has taken for feats, and then also how the Battle Master works, he is very hard to subdue.
Two more levels and I get a third attack, I think.
Yes.
On my next level, I get key, guys. I'll be able to run away even faster.
Yes, you will be able to do things with your key as a bonus action, such as dashing, an extra attack.
I'm gonna also get my extra movement at that level.
Yes. You will get that ease wheel.
And then I can just patient defend while you guys all die around me. Because I'm getting no armor, because 17 AC is enough for not being as reckless as I have been. I might be an actual helper and not just cast inflict wounds on things and miss 3 times in a row.
Everyone has those nights. Sometimes you just need to resort to spells that don't require an attack roll. It's just like, you know what? I'm tired of this.
I'm just gonna put my bow up and hit things with a sword.
Oh.
Big fat tacos, oh big fat tacos.
This is only
Gotcha.
slightly more acceptable.
Only slightly. Oh, as a note also, Junie, I will need you to resurrect my token because I deleted it.
All right,
I would
can
like
do
to
that.
give.
What do you mean? You deleted your token.
If you click on your own token, because you can control it, if you hit the delete button, it goes. Thank you.
Mhm.
Oh, I was gonna say because I was still seeing it.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. I'm like, wait a second. How am I seeing it and he's not? What the fuck?
Just in advance for before we go off in the morning after this long rest. For the next 8 hours after we start to leave, I'm giving Azzy, Nokris, and Talia 5 extra for their maximum hit points.
5 temporary hit points.
And those will refill for the next 8 hours if you
Thank you,
get
John.
to there as well.
All right, so the gist of where we're at, all that stuff went down. I was rudely interrupted by a phone call from a restaurant. Bax got away. He dropped a thing. You took the thing.
Fucking dick.
As he knows what's up, he knows where Bax is going. And is like, okay, cool. Like, maybe we don't need to rush over there right now, right immediately in this moment and chase after him. So let's, like, chill here, stay the night, which, everyone did. You knocked Tiga out, and she enjoyed it. And then tied her up, which she probably would have enjoyed too, but she was unconscious. And, yeah, and basically that's kind of where we're at, I would imagine. Kind of, secured the wayside again, now that it was void of all inhabitants.
Okay, first question. Where is the deed of ownership?
So if you can give me a investigation check.
Will do. No. Wow. Help me out, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
so
reroll.
Everybody spread out. We have a business to run. Okay, clearly the people who should be good at investigations suck at it.
Okay, stop. Who is going to investigate next?
who else is going to search next to find this deed?
I can try, I guess.
Okay, I'm going to cast guidance on Caster. Give me one
Okay.
second.
Going off the rails on the crazy train this time.
The train said, no, we're staying on these rails for you.
There you go. So I walk over and touch Caster's shoulder.
So
That'd
roll
be
a
a
d4
4.
too.
Roll a d4, yeah. Not that I think that it's gonna help very much, but
Yeah, damn.
Okay, so 14.
Wait,
All right.
how does Caster have a +0 to investigation?
It's intelligence.
I thought you had a high intelligence.
My intelligence is 10. I have a 20 for wisdom.
Oh, you got street smarts. Got it. Shit. Damn, we need a wizard.
No.
Hey, if Caster dies, I got one ready.
Yeah, that was gonna be my backup plan as well, but
I got an enchantment with it.
So, did the 14 reveal anything to Caster while he's looking around?
So,
Any of them find anything?
so in rummaging around some things, Caster has located a particular piece of paper that looks like maybe it's the deed. However, this particular deed wasn't even owned by the person that it said it was owned by in the first place. So you think that there is potential that you may have issues through the legitimacy of trying to own this particular inn with this particular deed.
Huh. And who does it say actually owns the place? Is it someone we know?
The deed says it is currently under the ownership of a man by the name of Felonius Dom.
Oh, fuck.
That's such a nice name for this person. I bet they're super nice and helpful.
And
And not horribly creepy with a really interesting voice.
And in the interest of spelling it out, if you want to put it in your notes, it is
Hang on. Hang
Fillo.
on. I'm gonna need to pull this up and be like, oh god. Okay. Filo.
I just typed it in chat. I realized it'd probably be easier if I just type it out.
Location. Who the fuck knows?
That's right. Who truly knows?
I'll give the deed to Talia for safekeeping. Because I don't want this deed.
I mean, I got plenty of room in my bag of holding, and there's no sharp objects in there right now, so...
Mine has the full thing of plate armor inside of it.
Wait, since when the fuck did I have a short bow and a short sword?
Starting equipment, I guess?
When you took it with you.
Starting equipment. Yes, that's what it is. I'm like, wait, what?
All right. So, anyways, now you possess the deed to the Wayside Inn, currently under the ownership of one Felonius Dom.
Huh.
So, having, stay the night, woken up, it's the next day, everybody's already rested, you have a prisoner that's tied up, you now have the deed to the inn. What are you planning to do now?
Is our prisoner conscious yet?
Oh, yeah, she's conscious. I mean, you knocked her out pretty good, but, like, all night into the morning, pretty sure she's going to wake up.
Okay.
She's a hardy lass.
Well, yeah, that much I got from the beating that she took. The fact that she was giving it as good as she was getting. Yeah. I guess I'll go over and see if she's willing to talk.
Okay.
So, I kind of just grab a chair, spin it around, and just sit down and just look at her, and I have a cup of water, and I just offer it to her.
Okay. So she accepts the water. Now I need to get my mouse to stop pinging in my ears because the stream just hears pings, pings, pings every time I push talk. She takes the water from me and, gives you a slight nod and takes a slow sip and then holds on to it in her, bound hands.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty sure you're well aware of the situation that you're in. And I could have killed you. I decided not to. So, my question to you is, am I going to regret that decision?
Well, that depends. If you come under Talos' sway, then it won't matter, will it? We can be together forever under his reign.
What exactly does Talos want? Because this is an awful lot of trouble for you all to sit underneath the guise of owners of an inn and send other of your religion down to Leyland, and even into a little podunk town that is most well known for selling sheep.
Well, I mean, I don't pretend to know the all-knowing power of Talos, but from what I have gathered in the discussions that us cultists and followers have heard, is that he's coming to claim power in this region and take control. So, who best, other than us followers, to give him this seat upon which he will sit to control it?
I'm just gonna roll an insight check to see if I'm getting some semblance of the truth out of her.
Yeah, you can discern that she's not, lying to your face.
Right. And how is Talos going to do this exactly? It's not as if Leyland is an easy target, what with the broken down wizard tower and all, which I imagine is part of his interest and why he's focusing on this area.
Well, I mean, the how is simply by creating temples, statues, seats of strength and power that are allied ritualistically to his will. And having enough of them in a proper orientation would give him enough power to be able to control the whole region.
You're all doing a lot more than erecting towers. We both know this. I would prefer it if you didn't bullshit me.
I don't know what you mean. I don't feel that I'm bullshitting you at all. It's quite simple, really. See, you bring together, a little statue, or you build the statue of the man himself, and then you get some sacrificial rites together, and before you know it, there's a ritual shrine that's empowered to his will.
With a 10 for knowledge religion, in my understanding of how gods normally work, that's all is needed for a foothold? Because this seems awfully simplistic for what they're going through.
So in terms of Talos's claim to power being the god of storms and somewhat chaos, yes, theoretically, having a ritualistic site under his sway and blessing would give him control of the storms and the weather within the region, which is what he effectively seats as being control or / power of the area, because in a moment's notice he could rain lightning down on anything and kill it if he wanted to.
Right. Okay. What happened to the original owner of this inn, this Felonius?
Oh, I'm not even really sure. Last I knew, he was in Neverwinter somewhere, and we had purchased this particular copy of the deed off of someone of ill repute in the back alleys there. So it's quite possibly a real individual. I'm not sure who actually was the proprietor prior to the owner, but as far as I'm aware, the owner is just a name, potentially an individual that collects a paycheck every so often.
I kind of just look at Talia like, well, it's free reign for the most part. How many of you are there in the region?
Oh, there's plenty of us. Quite a few. Dozens, if not near 100.
Anyone else got any other questions before I just knock her out again and we bring her back to Neverwinter and put her in jail?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, go ahead.
She doesn't seem to know anything. I think she's a low level person in the organization. Anyway.
Ash just kind of shrugs and walks out to go tend to the horses and the goat.
I mean, she'd make good target practice for my bow.
How many people have you kidnapped?
Personally, maybe 2. Collectively, probably somewhere near 40, I'd say.
Was this
There-
kid over here one of them?
Oh, no. No, we brought him around, maybe a span ago. Not really sure. We may have convinced him that his father was not to be trusted, and he opted to side with us.
Where did you bring them?
Oh, well, that's not exactly my department. I'm more in the acquisitions side.
So where did you deliver them?
Right here.
Brought them here. Who
Mhm.
took them?
Well, Bax was the liaison, I guess is the word I'll use, with the others that would come and claim our findings. But beyond that, I didn't really recognize many of them other than they all looked pretty scraggly and not well kempt.
You pray to Talos?
Every day.
Write down a prayer for me.
She goes and scribbles something down on a piece of paper for you.
I take it. Is it legible? Is it in any... It's in a language I can read.
Yeah, it's in common.
It's not an insult. It isn't a joke. It's an actual prayer.
Yeah, I'm just typing out what it'll be so you have a copy of it in text.
For those of you who are curious why I am asking for this, it's common practice for sailors to learn the local religions of the seas that they sail and pray to whatever gods roam those seas. I figure Azzy might take the same concept and apply it.
Oh, it makes sense. You're basically validating.
Even if it's a vile god, I mean,
Yeah, there are
protection's protection.
there are some instances where I think the best example is in the Greek pantheon or the Roman pantheon, where it didn't matter where you were going, there was possible death. You prayed to Pluto or Hades to not be counted among those that day.
And there you have it. One prayer.
Thank you. As he takes that and folds it and puts it just under his breastplate for ease of access.
Fair enough.
You know you people are vile, evil.
That's how you see it.
I mean, you sacrifice sentient people or sentient beings for no good reason, because you think it'll be a betterment to everyone, so murder's murder.
That's the thing about chaos, really. It's not meant to be controlled. You have to let it be what it will be.
Even the chaos follows a specific dichotomy and rule of the land. It's not just wanton and unbridled.
You're just looking to throw out the balance in life. People like you should be dead. But I'm not here to be your judge.
Yes, because there's a nice jail in Neverwinter with your name on it.
Or an executioner's axe.
Even better. Plus, there's cash in it for us.
We will see what chaos will bring before the end is through.
Did we, as a group, check on that barrel that we watched through Talia's spider backs and the cook, I forgot her name, go into down?
We haven't been back downstairs since this ended.
Yeah, you went down, Azzy went down there, and then kind of almost immediately got jumped after confirming that the spyglass and the map worked together.
Okay, well, I'm headed back down.
Okay. I turn at her, just give her a smile, and then I knock her out again.
Nothing like a hilt to the back of the head to give you a good, happy smile.
Oh, she's smiling.
Oh, I've gathered that.
Fucking Klingons.
I'd like to go check through the things upstairs that are in the big room at the end where the boy came to try and get some kind of idea where he's from and what he's about.
Okay.
I will go with Azzy into the basement.
I'm gonna keep watch out here.
Yep, I'm still outside with the horses and well, I guess in the stable with the horses and Dave. I'm telling Dave all about my adventure.
Druids. For the people who don't want to admit that they're totally would be okay with starring in a Disney film.
I sing, I would totally star in a Disney film. I'm totally okay with fucking agreeing with that.
I
All
do
right.
mention to Talia as I pass by, it sounds like the owner of the inn is a front, so congratulations, you now officially own it. Just pay your bills.
What bills?
I just give her a look. There are probably taxes associated with this place. Please pay them. I do not have to drag your ass into jail as well.
My dear heavily armored friend. Do you not yet understand the value of a good bribe to the tax collector?
I just
No.
give her a look.
All right, so Gunhild, you don't really uncover anything of much detail about Cray, who was the apprentice that was shot down.
So lovingly pierced through the head and tacked to the wall behind him.
Shot through the heart, and you're to blame.
At most, you're able to discern that they had probably headed south from somewhere near Neverwinter to reach this destination.
Okay.
And then in the basement, with you guys rummaging around in the barrel, you find some old missives and letters, things that are basically all encoded in messages back and forth between them, but nothing of exceptional interest.
What about the two other maps that I found with Bax?
Mm-hmm. We looked at them. Remember that he laid them out and you looked at them one at a time.
So, the way I remember that, I remember rolling a 9 and a 6, and then a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'd kind of like to just make sure
Right.
there's no further info on them. And I take my time.
Sure. Yeah, you can roll.
Damn it, I still have to roll.
Yeah, there's no more taking 20s or taking 10s.
What is insight?
Or perception, I guess.
Perception?
Yeah, perception's probably good.
Yeah, I'm done with this game.
I'll assist with the next one as best I can after hearing Azzy kind of grumble, I imagine. So, you have advantage on the next round.
That's fair. So, looking at that one other map, you basically see that nothing has changed about what you saw previously. And looking at the other map, the second one, you can see nothing has changed from what you saw before.
But do these maps detail the area that the other one, the one that Bax ran off with, do they detail it in the same way? Kind of like, not with the markings, just the same.
They do not.
Damn it.
One of them is for a location that is to the north, which I guess I can mark for you on the map if you really have that interest.
No. So honestly, what I was looking for was exactly what I asked for. That same location. I want to do a quick copy from memory of the map that I saw with Bax and all the markings that I can possibly remember.
Understood. Okay.
If that's possible with the keen mind trait.
Well, I mean, the keen mind trait would effectively mean that you're able to recall what you saw. So if you're able to recall what you saw and you have the ability to be, have some skill in cartography, you'd be able to draw a map that's decent enough to follow.
Great. Then I'd like to take a little bit of time to do that after we continue searching the rest of that barrel, if there's anything left.
Yeah, and we'll search the other barrels in here too, just to make sure there's only beer, ale, or wine or foodstuffs in them, and not anything weird.
Correct, yeah. The other barrels are effectively what they appear to be. They are full of liquid.
Sweet. Alright, well. And as he heads back upstairs, sits down at one of those tables, pulls out his supplies, and begins drawing, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
I will head back up as well, and I'll head into the upstairs rooms to then start investigating the other rooms that we did not initially, quote-unquote, stay in. Or actually, no, I'll take a look in the blacksmithing area.
Okay.
Just kind of comb that area.
So looking around in that area, there's nothing really of note other than the obvious components that were crafted and forged in the smith.
Yeah. There's no finished pieces, I take it?
There are some. A couple of items that are completed.
Any of them for someone in particular, or
No.
that are unique to design?
I mean, within the area has, you know, a lot of locals, farmers, and other the like. So some of them are like, you know, a scythe or a plow and some various, you know, metal parts for oxen wagons stuff and things like that.
Okay, but nothing too particular or out of the ordinary. Things I would
Nope.
normally expect to see for a local blacksmith to be working on for someone.
Nope. Just random, you know, the random other odds and ends that, you know, Tiga had been working on, like armor and bracelets and helmet and weapons. Nothing that would be out of the ordinary.
Okay, that's all. I'll then head back into the main area as well, and just wait for everyone else to come back in so that we can decide on what to do next.
Fair enough.
Come back downstairs.
All right. It looks like most people are congregating.
You find anything of use up there?
Not really. I mean, it's a bunch of bedroom. Although I only really did check the big room upstairs. I didn't know if anyone had checked the smaller one.
No, I don't think we have yet.
Oh, then I think I'll go back upstairs and check the small ones since I thought somebody else did already.
Thank you, Gunhild. How are the animals, Ash?
They're fine.
John,
Dave is complaining though because he's ready to go.
Dave's ready to go. Anything in these two rooms here of importance or interest?
In room B. Where's my mouse? There. In room B, you find someone's discarded trousers.
Woohoo! Pants.
In room
on that.
A, you find 3 socks with holes in them.
Ew.
In that case.
And between the other 2 rooms, the shared rooms, you find a wooden cork. I guess technically not wooden. You find a cork. And you find a metal shard that's approximately 4 inches long.
I'll take the cork.
Okay. So you take the cork.
You can use it to make a fishing bob. Also, I believe your food is here, Sean.
Junie,
It
don't
is.
die. Be careful.
Don't get run over.
Don't catch the COVID.
Tell the COVID to fuck off.
So, after everybody congregates, I guess, Knight, or Azzy or other, should have this map ready for a visual representation so that everybody can see where we're headed next.
Oh, Ash. I've got a present for your little boy. I got a cork.
I believe he's.
Ear to ear, and she takes the squirrel out of her pocket and puts him on the table.
I take the cork and I put it on the table and I point at it.
He freaks the fuck out. He does that weird little thing that cats do, and they like hop up and down, and he like attacks it, and he like falls off the table.
I
Nah,
knew
he's
that
just
would bring joy
laying
to the
there.
squirrel.
He's just laying there on his back, chewing on it. So I mean,
It's all Eric.
There you go.
Did you guys find anything?
I found a cork and some trousers and some socks if anybody wants some extra clothes.
Nope. Not from this place.
All right. Well, everyone is together as he shows off his crown jewel of a map.
Scribble.
Alright, Azzy, what are your thoughts since you've been working on this?
Well, so the information that we've acquired thus far is that they'll be performing sacrificial rites. We can confirm that these rites haven't happened as of yet because I'm assuming that there aren't any storm clouds outside. That being said, we've got at least 40 people taken, maybe not to the site that Vax has gone to, but if it is the prime location for a ritual, I would assume that most of the civilians, if you were taken there. That being said, most of them are probably dead. Those who aren't are possibly maimed, on the verge of death, so we should probably try to bring some kind of gauze with us if we do decide to go. Or we could just call it quits, go home and say fuck this, you know. I want a boat and I'm ready to get paid. But downside to quitting is that Talos kind of affects the ocean too, you know. Storms and water don't really mix very well.
And then if Talos takes over the Sword Coast region, that means that yeah, there's going to be a lot of trade and things affected. So
Yeah, like, I don't give a shit about this region. This place has been nothing but zombies and fucking bullshit my entire time here. I'm ready to leave.
Not wrong.
I'm ready to get on my boat and go, goddammit.
Somebody wants to go back out on the water.
I want to go anywhere but here, man. Anyway, I figured if we're laying all the cards on the table, though, we're probably literally walking into a storm here soon. So I don't know what you guys want to do, but if we're gonna do the right thing would probably be to try to find at least 40 people taken and put an end to whatever bullshit this god has planned.
I am in agreement. As much as I don't want to stick my nose in this, they have taken people against their will, and as ambivalent as I might be, since it's not my problem, it would be the right thing to do, and we should at least try in some sense.
Well, that's 2 for going. Anybody else?
What about the rest of you? You all have a say in this.
Do we want to at least go get paid first?
Well, let's decide first if we want to go and do this as a group versus necessarily that, because the payment's going to happen no matter what. It's what we, it's what the rest of you want to do as well. Azzy and I have made our choice. If you want to come with us, that's fine, but
Not if
there's
you're
no sense
dead.
in dragging others.
That's good. Stops weird sacrifice things.
yeah, that's as much as I want to get paid and I want to take over this business.
Fuck Talos.
Sacrificing people is
Yeah.
not cool.
Exactly.
I agree with that. These people have hurt too many people just to let them do as they please and try to gain a foothold in the... Besides, storms are fun. And Ash just kind of like taps her staff on the ground and the little sparks...
I shake my storm can.
Ugh!
Excellent choice.
Okay, storms are not fun. Clearly, neither of you have ever had to repair a broken fucking window in an orphanage with screaming children surrounding you. No,
Storms.
they're not fun.
Storms are not fun on the ocean either, trust me.
Alright, so we're all in agreement then. We're going to put an end to, or try to put an end to this mad cult's plans. The next question is, where do we go from here? As Azzy points out, the victims are going to be in rough shape no matter what we find, either dead, maimed, or in parts. And as Gunhild points out, we do need supplies. The best course of action, I think, is to go back to Neverwinter, get paid, bring our sack of crap with us so the authorities can deal with it, and then also so maybe we can get some more people to come down here with us and also come back to it, because I don't know about you, but I might be scaly and big and strong, but I can't carry 40 people and 40 or have as many body parts as there are back to be laid to rest properly.
Well, is Leyland closer or is Neverwinter closer?
At this point, I think it's Neverwinter.
Well, hold on. Bax already has a full night head start.
Mm-hmm.
Bax
He's probably
now
gonna try and
knows-
rust this shit now that he knows we're on his trail.
So, as much as I want to say let's go get supplies, as much as I think those supplies might potentially save lives, how are we on supplies? Does everybody have potions? Can everybody survive another?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Then, as these 40 people's probably only chance of survival, it's paramount that we get there as soon as possible and make sure that we, at the very least, Caster has to live, right? Caster, or who is the healer? I forgot your name. Caster.
Caster.
Are you that deep into your cups already?
Got a keen mind for everything but names.
Canon. That's a thing now. Stuck with names, but you're good at everything else.
So
Making a note.
Next boss just have to list off names to win. Sorry.
The other thing is that you're right, Azzy. He does have a head start, and we are probably these people's only way. But if we, depending on how far we can, how far we travel, and if I have enough time while doing it, I can at least work on some bombs and salves to at least ease their pain for when we get there. I just need the supplies, which luckily we do happen to have, myself and a very keen-eyed druid and with us who can help me identify the plants I might need. So I kind of look at Ash.
I also have a healer's kit as well, so I can help with that. With I have bandages, salves, splints.
I can always pop out some good berries if we need them.
assuming I don't drink them all, I've got potions.
You sure as I have 2 healers kits for some reason? Okay.
Alright, so we all in agreement that we're gonna head out now, so then the question becomes, what do we do with this sack of lard as I point back at Tiga?
Kill them. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it. There's no point in dragging baggage. Especially baggage that's just going to wind up rotting in a cell, which is a crueler fate. There's no moral argument here. They're bad. You didn't have any
No.
problem killing all the other people.
No.
Just kill this one too.
No, I'm just giving it up to the group because I know my decisions in this, but everyone needs to be at peace with what we're doing.
Why don't we let, if they're such a fanatic for Talos, why don't we let Talos decide? Put them over the cliff. See if they live.
Guys
Talos
leave
wants
too
to-
much up to chance. But whatever.
I'm more of the opinion we should kill her here so we know she's dead.
It'd also probably be quicker to do it here than having the long fall.
Our luck is she's strong enough to swim away from some stupidness.
Yeah. Just
Our
do it in
luck.
the woods and don't get stains all over the floor.
You mean besides the math area out front of the inn that we made before?
Yeah, it's already gonna be enough work. I don't need a lard like her bleeding out all over the place.
No, I meant the mass grave that was made when there were all the zombies here. That we put right beside the inn or whatever.
Our first trip through where we killed all the zombies.
Yeah, that's true.
And we
They're
buried
already
them.
fertilizer.
Is Ash in agreement with all of this as well?
I won't stop you from doing what you have to do, but I don't want a part of it. I won't kill someone who's on.
Enough of this. As he immediately gets up and grabs this person out and drags them outside.
At least he took them outside.
Take him to this nice little tree over here, and I just fucking stick him to it.
Go on.
I go outside. I go out with Azzy as well, just to make sure it's done properly. And I just have my holy symbol of Sarvas there as well, just to watch over this. Just because technically we're seen as adjudicators in some sense by a lot of people, so this will at least give it some efficacy. Even though I personally don't care about her, because she's a freaking cultist.
I just want to point out that we have an actual honest-to-God priest of Bahamut here, so Bahamut is kind of a lawful goody two-shoes figure. No offense, cleric friend, but perhaps you should oversee this as well.
I am. I'm out there.
Okay, cool.
I'm
That's
just-
right, please. I don't want any angry spirits coming back to the inn.
I'm talking to Bahamut and Celestial. It'll be okay. Maybe. Probably not.
Do it execution style, on your knees, blade through the back of the skull.
Skyrim cinematic kill style. Just shield slam, knock them onto their knees, and then whoosh.
And then they ragdoll, but they're stuck to the tree, so they sit there and just like shake glitch.
Oh god, the door shake glitches like when a body gets stuck at the door.
Mhm.
At least it didn't fall through the map and you lose all the loot.
We've Bethesda'd our campaign.
Yeah, let's not do that. Speaking of loot, what is on her body?
You what? God
I imagine we would
damn.
have taken all that off of her yesterday, or like.
Mm-hmm.
I already
Before we-
collected her
after we knocked her
weapons.
out.
Yeah, there was nothing particularly of value from what I understand. Just the axe that she used.
Like,
She-
for that shield I'm not using anymore.
She was a berserker. She didn't really wear a whole lot in terms of protective gear. It's not their style.
That's what I was looking for.
Oh, she just holy smash!
She had an axe, and she made things in a forge. So she didn't really care much about money as long as she had things to make. And any of that money kind of funneled into the cult anyways, so it's not like it was her
Going
profits.
anywhere.
I funded the cult. Oh no.
Alright. That's done, right? We're done with this.
I mean, yeah, I imagine so.
Alright, well, before we prep and head off to go rescue some poor hapless villagers, we need to make sure that this place is thoroughly secured. And, like, hang a closed until further notice sign out front.
I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that considering the back door got busted open with my fucking backs charging.
That's how I remember. She almost went through with him.
Let's say, are any of you good at carpentry?
What about the sailor? You know anything about carpentry and fixing boats?
I know plenty about carpentry. I don't have the tools, though. And don't have the time.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I mean,
Time
Minor
to
time
go.
crunch.
I'm sure if we look around with probably some boards and some nails, we can just fucking. Like,
Yeah, we can just
nail it
board the
over, but
place
It's not gonna be
up.
perfect.
That's all we need to do. And then, like, shit, we need paint.
You're shutting this place down to travelers who are probably going to need it.
Oh yeah, we just
like
leave
one
the
of the
gates
only
to the
checkpoints.
stable open and board up the windows and doors. Let travelers sleep in the stable for free. Because it's out of the weather and it's out of the way. And it's charity, which is good, so...
Did I just witness the thief that is all
I'm
about
confused.
monetary gain? Just
the thief
offer
is
charity and good?
so that she can make more charitable givings. Okay.
The thief has mentioned multiple times that they grew up in an orphanage and they are working to.
Not that she grew up in an orphanage, but she does have a fondness for them.
Yeah. I mean,
My parents are still
Is it
very
good
much
for them?
alive and well and healthy. Thank you. I write to them regularly.
Point being, she has a heart of gold. Her skills just say otherwise.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm just employed in a different manner.
I was gonna say,
You'll
So-
have-
You're gonna try to quickly make secure
Yeah.
the inn as much as possible.
yeah.
Okay. So you're basically able to bar, some windows and some doors. In the kitchen, you were able to kind of secure the door by using one of the tables. So you stood that up to kind of block it, and you kind of barricaded it a little bit, so hopefully you keep people out.
That's good. But of course, stable's open.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's probably about to get very stormy, so I'm legitimately worried about people who might be traveling along the road after we head off to take care of this shit. So, yeah. Nobody wants to be stuck outside in the weather. But anyways, moving on. How are we, going to round up everything and actually go there? Plan.
have a wagon.
We do have the wagon.
I know I have a horse.
I have one as well.
Yep.
I think most of us have a mount.
Yeah.
How is the weather outside?
It's overcast.
The weather outside is frightful.
Overcast, you don't really see much in the way of actual storm fronts happening just yet.
That's good.
Great.
Azzy, by your estimate, how long is it gonna take us to get there?
DM intervention, please.
What's up? Oh, map time.
It's one of those things where a character has to ask another character a question because they don't know, but the person controlling the character doesn't necessarily know either. Okay, so yes, Leyland is a lot closer.
Oh, jeez.
Why does it look like we're gonna have to get a boat to get there? It looks like it's kind of out on the water.
No, it's at the shoreline.
Which is pretty appropriate for Talos.
Yeah. So we could literally go to Leyland and then go there.
Yeah, we could. We could also drop off our prisoner at the same time.
Well, no.
What?
There's no prisoner. There's a head in a body.
Oh, right. Sorry, I forgot about that already.
Well, we could still go to Leyland and get supplies.
And inform them
Truth.
of what's going on and what could happen. Their town is going to be the closest thing to it.
Yep.
It would also probably be faster to go to Leyland anyway, just because that way we're not trekking through wildland.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just stay on the roads.
Follow the road and what is this what? No, I mean what is the distance of one of these units? 5 miles?
What are the grid squares? Yeah, 5 miles.
Yeah. So it's what, 10 miles away? Yeah, it's about 10 miles away from Leyland. So
Oh yeah, we could make the trek from Leyland out to that thing in the space of a day, easy.
well, it took us 1 day to make it here. So
Yeah,
one day back to Leyland. Axe is probably halfway there, assuming that he went straight there. There's nowhere else for him to go.
True.
Well, actually, nobody in Leyland knows about him, so we also don't know if there's any cult followers in Leyland. So, It might just be the best option to go to Leyland and then there, but we can't stay long in Leyland, especially if the weather worsens.
We basically have to go pick up some supplies, and I and a couple of us should at least briefly mention to...
We should warn them, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm looking. We should warn Griselda and possibly has the captain of the guard.
Yep, along with Galileo, the wizard, because the wizard could probably help abate some of the effects from the storm if it hits the town.
That's true.
So he didn't seem like his arcane abilities, his skill in the art was anything to sneeze at.
So why don't we do this? Azzy, why don't you speak with Gallo when we get to Leyland, since you talked with him the most and you seem to have a rapport with him, comparatively to the others. I will speak with Sergeant Hasgorm, and then Ash and Talia, why don't you speak with Griselda? Caster, you can probably tell Father Marigold that they're gonna have to make ready their Church of Lathander to receive civilians that are badly wounded, and then Gunhild, if you want to help out by getting supplies and just checking around town and seeing what you can find out if there's been anything weird for the past day or so when we get there. That would be the best way, I think, to break up our time, get everything done that we need, and then we can head out right quick.
Okay, how long do we plan on spending in Leyland? A couple of hours, or are we going to spend overnight?
Half a day max. We
Okay.
don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
That being said, at what time of day do we plan on approaching the cultist lair? I think it's probably best if we formulate a plan of attack now. At least get some sort of idea, and then get the fine details once we've actually scouted the place a little bit.
What time is it right now, Junie? Is it still morning?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if we leave now, we'll get to Leyland by dusk. And from there, it's going to take at least a couple of hours, maybe half a day, to get to the site, depending on how rough the terrain is and how well we can find our way through it.
That's accurate.
And we're going to need to at least take a couple of hours to get through all the stuff in Leyland, which we can accomplish at dusk. Doesn't really...
So we can probably make it to the cultist lair by noon of the next day, I'm thinking.
Right, if we rest when we get to Leyland, which...
I mean, after traveling for a full day, we're going to need rest. I'd rather not be going into such an encounter completely exhausted. I hate to say it, but that will save no lives.
It's
Indeed.
also going to be dark, and the majority of us are not that great in darkness.
For me, I can't see a thing.
Yeah, the Beggar King has been good to me.
I was gonna say, as I said, the majority of us can't see in the dark. We thankfully have a couple of companions who are very keen at it, but the rest of us would be blind.
I can see through magical darkness too.
Great. So it sounds like we have a plan then. We're heading to Leyland.
Yeah.
I see
So,
no reason.
Cue epic travel scene.
Right. Get out your coconuts. Start clapping them together for the horse hoof steps.
What about Dave?
Well, I mean, what kind of fruit shell would you consider for goat hooves?
I don't know,
Well,
Dan. You
that
tell
was-
me.
All right, definitely. Pineapple doesn't really have a shell that you could hollow out and make
Like
enough noise.
watermelon rinds.
Maybe
Yeah, let's
cantaloupe?
go with watermelon rinds.
Because they're wet and floppy like goats.
What kind of fucking goats do you hang around?
The kind that you eat.
Kind that are wet and
Right,
floppy,
floppy.
apparently.
I do have a question, Junie. On the way down towards Leyland, are we occupied enough that we would not be able to search for plants and herbs along the way, or would we?
If you want to, well, see, here's the thing. If you want to move at the pace of travel to get to Leyland within the time window that you would like, you can do so. However, you wouldn't be able to be searching for things on the way. If you would like to kind of be searching for things on the way as you go, it's just going to add a little bit more time to the travel so that your arrival is a little later than you originally anticipated.
No, that's fine. We'll cut it short. As much as I would like to prepare some things for this for medicinal purposes, we don't necessarily have the time, and I think getting to them and preparing everyone in Leyland is more of a paramount versus what little I could create on my own.
Fair enough.
Excuse me, what little me and Ash could create. Because we're both fairly skilled in making medicines from local plant life and herbs, but it's just two of us compared to however many people are in town.
Fair enough. So the game plan is you set out and you travel the road and you ride to Leyland. The journey is not very interesting, so much that you have the slight, slightly rushed anxiety of trying to beat the clock, as it were. You do notice that some storms are building to the west as you ride south. You see a few individuals, travelers that are passing you on the road headed north, but generally speaking, you don't really see anyone on the road. And you arrive at Leyland around dusk.
Alright.
All right, so rolling into town, you guys all had your individual tasks that you were going to try to divide and conquer with. So we will set to those. Who is going to Griselda?
Talia and I think.
Okay.
Yes, unless you guys have something different you had planned. That was just a suggestion.
Who's Griselda? Who runs Griselda?
She's like the
Griselda-
functional mayor.
Yeah, she is the functional mayor and head of the construction effort for Leyland. She's the one who originally asked us to help bring the goats to Phandalin.
Okay. Oh, I mean, that's fine. There we go.
Okay. So you guys roll up to Griselda, who is in the town square, working on instructing people still in the wee hours of the waning light. Oh, the adventurers have returned. Ah, very well. What news?
Pretty bad
Fortunately,
news.
nothing good.
So there's been a cult of Talos operating in the region. They plan some pretty nasty stuff. Our companions and us are gonna go try and take care of it. Seems they might have kidnapped some of the locals too. So, yeah, you know the rest, right, Ash?
The rest? What are you talking about?
About the storm thing.
What about the storm thing?
I don't know. You're a druid. You know nature stuff better than me. I'm an indoors person.
Just kind of look at the mayor. And Ash is just kind of hanging back. She doesn't know this person really that well. She just kind of waves her staff around a little bit and says, "Lots of storms, big booms, thunder, not."
Certainly
You might wanna
grave
get ready
news.
for that.
Certainly grave news.
You're cutting in and out.
Me?
No, John is.
I'm cutting out.
Yeah. Yeah, you were cutting in and out with whatever you were just trying to say.
Okay. As you said, certainly grave news. And then I stopped at that point because it sounded like you were going to say something, so I paused.
Oh, no. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. We'll be sure to get everyone secured indoors. We might even bring people inside the house of Thalvar as a stronghold for the time being if the weather gets too bad.
We're also looking for supplies. Where can we find medical supplies in this town?
Medical supplies are to the east. I find it at a small tent by the carpenter station that's by the east gate. Should be plenty that are there.
I just kind of give her a nod and glance at Talia awkwardly and just start heading that way.
Yeah, thanks. Don't die.
Griselda, nods and then kind of starts talking to her people to start sending not really alarm, but sending the notice of caution for upcoming events.
Cool. So let's go get those medical supplies. Next person.
Right, so let's see. I guess next, Azzy, you were going to the house. You were going to the tower to talk to Galileo.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll enter. First off, I'd like to make sure that he's actually here and not possessed,
Yeah, he's here. He's definitely not possessed.
Is he currently nose in a book?
I mean, yes, but
I'll lightly tap on his door. Galileo, are you available for a few moments?
I guess I could be. Yeah, it seems how you did help me out. Yeah, what can I help you with?
Appreciate your time, first off. Second off, I've got some horrible news. It seems that a cult of Talos has amassed further south of here, a little bit southwest, actually, along the coast. We suspect. Information that we have gathered is that they've got sacrifices ready. Looks like there's storm fronts brewing already. If you're familiar with Talos, you understand that this could be very bad for Leyland, being that it's on the coast.
Yes, I most certainly do. Yes.
I was curious if Thalavar, in all of his research, if you had found a way to perhaps maybe shelter Leyland from the coming storm.
Yes, there are some things that I can do, but it's challenging to do without the beacon. Having the beacon would have obviously been a much greater boon for our defensive capacity, but I will begin my end of the preparations.
Awesome. Is there anything that you need directly? I don't have much time, but I'll afford the little time I do have to...
Oh, no. I'll be fine. A wizard is always prepared, and from his pocket of his robe he pulls out what appears to be a pocket dimension orb.
Batman, what the fuck?
The fuck?
Yeah. Okay, so for those of you playing at home that have never heard of what a pocket dimension is,
It's great.
pocket dimension is kind of like think of like a bag of holding, except you can go inside of it. So inside of said event, anything inside of it, basically can have like an entire mansion inside if you wanted, and food, drink, equipment, people, slaves, minions, whatever he wants, all inside of there, just like it's its own little world, and it just fits in his pocket.
Just don't put it in a bag of holding.
They call that a feedback loop.
Especially delivery.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. It's a feedback loop, all right.
As he's just kind of amazed at that and asks, "Can you show me how to do that one day?"
Oh, maybe one day if there's time.
I'll be back.
Damn.
As you start to leave, you don't see him there suddenly anymore.
There's a reason the running joke is that wizards are Batman.
With that, I'll take my leave and go try to assist in the shops and gathering medical supplies.
Fair enough. All right. Any other individuals doing any other deeds prior to our calm before the storm, as it were?
Yes.
I'm about to say, Gunhild has some stuff too.
Yep. Go on.
I'd like to go down to the docks because I know there's some ships that are there, just to see if they've been up in the general area where we're planning on going. Maybe get a little advanced reconnaissance.
Sure. So going down to the docks, kind of explaining the situation. Most of the ships that are there have been traveling from the north, so they haven't really gone south to see what's there. But a couple of the individuals say that in prior instances when they've traveled south, they know that there is a ridge line in the cliffs with there's some connected caves that are up above the water.
Accessible from above or just from below at the waterline?
They couldn't really tell you from what they had seen, but they know that there are openings along the cliffside that have cave entrances, and beyond that, they are not sure. The name for the region has been known as the Thundering Cliffs.
Thundering Cliffs. Okay. I thank them for their information and their time and ask if they happen to know the best place for any potential medical supplies because we've run into a large gathering of Cult of Talos and things are about to get ugly.
Noted. And they similarly are a little frantic, but they know what to do. Some of them set sail that night and start traveling back to Neverwinter.
I think I just cleared the docks.
Yeah, most of the other ships that are there, if they're not trade ships, are just fishing boats.
Okay. Then I will go back to the center of town looking for the rest of the group.
Fair enough.
There were two other people we needed to talk to. Castor, I think, was going to head to talk to Father Marigold.
Yep.
And I was headed towards Sergeant Hasgorm.
Okay. So we'll do the shrine first with the priest. So I assume, Castor, you show up at the shrine, go inside, and you go to speak with Father Marigold, who welcomes you after, knowing that you two basically laid the spirits to rest previously. And asks you, what can he do for you?
My companions and I have recently learned of a location of a group of Cult of Talos members. One person mentioned upwards of 40 captives. Only if you could get ready in case we need bring in the injured here if we succeed in getting them back.
Oh, that is quite grave indeed. Yes, well, should we be able to return here, by all means, we can certainly house as many as possible here in the shrine.
Thank you, Father. More others of my companions are alerting the other members of leadership throughout the town. I'd like to have a warning coming from them soon of more information. Trying to help prepare for the group's adventure in.
All right, very well. I'll get everything started here.
And I head out to look for the others and help get supplies ready for healing and such.
And then we have Koval going and talking to the guard captain.
Yeah. I find the captain of the guard and I go into his office, and I'm not really messing around if he has any quote-unquote underlings on duty who are acting as secretary or what have you. I just make a straight beeline for wherever he is.
All right, fair enough.
And I enter whatever his office might be, and I just look at Gorm.
Yes, what is it? What can I do for you?
You're going to have fun. We have uncovered a cult of Talos in the local area, and they are roughly about 10 miles from Leyland. My companions and I are looking to try and put a stop to them because they're trying to get a foothold for their god here with sacrifices and all of that. And it's going to be rough. So we need two things from you. One, to prepare the town and make sure it's defended, but there's also going to be civilians with them that have been kidnapped and who are going to be wounded. So I do need some of your men to come with us and be able to bring those civilians that we get out back safe and sound.
All right, very well. I'll begin preparations for defense, and I'll get you one squad, two squads. It's a noble enough cause. 2 squads to go with you.
Thank you. Tell them to meet us at the edge of town in the morning. We're not going to be going out tonight.
All right, very well. That will give us more time to prepare.
Thank you. And the only other thing I have to ask is where would be the most likely place for medical supplies to make sure that we have stuff on hand should some of them need it then and there.
Well, probably the 2 places I would say that are most stocked for this would be the shrine and probably the medical encampment that's nearby the carpentry area. Everyone seems to always get cut.
Expected. Thank you. I'll head there now. And I give him a curt nod, and I head out the door and head towards the medical pavilion since I know Castor's at the shrine.
All right, noted. So it seems like the bulk of you have all convened at the medical encampment towards the east gate.
How did everything go for everyone else?
I have some news on where we're going.
Father Marigold preparing the shrine for injured.
The
Fair
captain.
lady has been warned.
That's good. What of Gallo?
Prepping for incoming storms.
Good. Captain of the guard is making ready for the town to be defended, and he's giving us 2 squads of his own men to help us in this endeavor.
More meat shields, hell yeah.
They are basically going to be looking after the civilians when we cannot. If any are still alive to be looked after. They'll meet us at the edge of town at dawn tomorrow.
Well, maybe last night to have some fun for a few of us. Just saying. Beers on me.
That I can agree to.
We still have a job to do. I turn around and head towards the medicine place.
I do help Ash with that as well. You're the one who suggested this hero business. Let's go, hero.
vomit.
You can't be hungover already. You haven't had anything to drink yet.
Well,
That you know of.
That's why he's vomiting.
He's running on empty.
I don't understand. I work drunk. There is no other status for me.
Why do you think the first shanty he came up with was about?
Whiskey.
I thought that's just what all shanties were about.
I need to find that website again now.
Just so you all know, the area we're going to seems to be cliff sides with holes in the sides of the cliffs where there's some caves, apparently, according to the local shipping folk. Do we all have rope just in case?
Got 50 feet.
Yeah, same.
I specifically have a rope of climbing.
Well, I mean, you can fucking fly, so
Well, excuse me for having nice boots. Trust me, an elf wouldn't be caught dead in these boots.
I think we all have rope, but it would do us to
Nope.
get some pythons and some climbing gear. Alright, we're gonna get this man over here some rope and make sure he's tied well with it.
I just kind of shake my head at the group and I turn to the shopkeep of the medicine tent. I need all of the medical supplies that you have and rope.
Very well. I don't know how many medical supplies I can truly part with in the event of being able to keep everything for our own injured, or who may come back injured, I should say. But I certainly have rope.
Listen, I'm gonna stop you there, okay? We're putting our lives on the line to go and keep this place from being flooded, pillaged, whatever these fucking people do. I need your medical supplies.
Guys, I think I just fell in love with Sassy Druid Mama.
Well, I suppose I could give you some. I cannot give you all, though, because it's my livelihood.
Your livelihood is to sell me medical supplies. I want all of your medical supplies. What, I don't see the issue here.
Okay, so that being said, fair enough. I will sell you them. Very well. I was under the impression that you were just demanding them and not actually going to pay the person, so...
No!
It came across that way.
She
a little
was
bit.
getting a
Either
little
give me the
pushy.
medical supplies, or I introduce you to my wall, Spiky.
I could always fly him up and just drop him.
Don't
can we
make me
use
have
that
to
as a
use
threat
Death
more
Ward.
often?
Please don't make me have to use Death Ward on random people because of this.
Jesus Christ, what's your alignment?
Is it probably gonna have to take people to jail now?
Raised eyebrow. Fair enough. So yeah, you make a sale with the shopkeep to gain an excessive amount of medical supplies for the low price of 400 gold.
God damn.
I'll pay 200 of it.
I'll just pitch in the other 200, it's fine. Where's my rope? Did you get me rope? I asked for rope.
Oh yes, this rope goes and gets you.
Shopkeeper has got to be like absolutely terrified of that.
Gets you like many lengths of rope that are probably about 50 to 75 feet apiece.
Yeehaw.
Horses in the back.
What all do we actually get? Like potions, medical
All right,
kits?
so through that you get 3 greater healing potions. You get 6 healer kits. You get 14 healing potions. And you get 7 rope coils of 50-foot length.
How are we gonna divide?
Let's see.
Well, I already have one healing kit, so I definitely don't need a healing kit, but I would like to at least request one of the greater healing potions.
That makes sense. And I already
I
have
don't
two
have any
healing kits.
potions on me, so.
Remember, we picked up 4 potions of greater healing from the
I know I
inn
took
as our
one.
spoils.
Also, a
And-
ring of water walking. That I don't think we ever decided we got that.
Oh yeah. I passed on the ring because I'll just fly over it because I'm a dick.
I think we were considering it Azzy.
A dick with
Thank you,
wings.
Lord. A dick with wings.
A flying dick.
But yeah, it probably makes sense to give the sailor a ring of water walk.
Who needs a boat when I can just run?
Jeez. I'm giving the pirate a new lease on life.
Oh,
Hey,
falls off the ship. I'm fine, guys.
There's nothing wrong with piracy.
There's a lot of things wrong with piracy. Like, it's just not economical. Why would you kill the people that you're going to steal from?
They don't
You can just
always
let them
kill
run
them.
away,
They
refill
just
their
drop them in the
coffers, and then you can
water
rob them
and
again.
let them. Sometimes they just drop them in the water and sail off. They don't always actively kill them.
The pirates just need to take a better business course. That's their biggest problem.
Yeah, but like, still, more often than not, when a pirate goes after somebody, they're going to be depriving themselves of a potential source of return income.
The point of piracy is to be free, not to adhere to any form of enslavement, even currency. We only use currency to have a good time anyway.
Because you have to.
Yeah, that's just because I have to. I ain't gonna learn how to make booze, and I ain't gonna pay somebody to have sex with or I ain't gonna force somebody to have sex with my ugly ass unless I'm fucking paying them.
You're not going to pay him either, apparently, huh?
At the minimum, I think Talia and Gunhill should each get at least one of the healer's kits.
Healers
That way we
kit?
have them spread out a bit. At least to hold on to, because I already have 2 without the extras that we have here.
Oh,
Because we got,
I
I
was
think,
like, what?
6 of them.
I don't know how to use
Yeah.
these.
I mean,
For carrying purposes, we don't have them all put onto one person that may or may not survive this.
I specialized in medicine, so I guess
Yeah.
I can use one.
We both specialize in
And I
Not
do
anyone.
have plenty of room left in my bag of holding still, so like I put next to nothing in here. So as long as it's not a sharp object, we can probably fit it in here. So if we need to fit some extra rope or some extra potions or healer's kits, feed for the animals if need be, I've got.
I took
Okay.
50 feet of the rope there so I could not fall off the side of this cliff.
Okay, so you did take rope.
Yep.
Okay, and I took one of the greater healing potions, so we have 2 greater healing potions left, 14 regular healing potions, 6 healing kits, and 6 rope coils. Who took healer kit?
Gunhill took one.
I can take one, but I wouldn't know how to use it really, so.
That's still fine. So we
Okay,
still have
I'll
2
add
greater healing, 4 healer kits, 14 healing potions, and 6 rope coils.
Azzy, would you like some more healing potions so you don't die?
I don't have any apparently. Like I'm looking in my inventory, I don't have any healing potions.
Yeah, because
Okay.
you end up chunking them every time John crits you.
I've only drank one.
Considering he's the tank, we'll give him a greater healing potion and 2 of the regular. Does that sound fair?
Yep.
You want one of the other greater ones, Marcus, to help keep you alive?
Yeah, I'll take the other greater healing potion.
Okay.
Otherwise, I should be good for my own healing purposes.
Well, we have 6 players and 12 healing potions left, so we might as well just give everyone 2 healing potions.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Roger.
I'm not seeing just regular healing potions.
It's potion of healing.
Yeah.
So just search
Yeah.
for the word heal.
Well, so I did. And
Oh, okay.
all I see is greater, superior, and supreme.
What?
Like, that's all I see on my list for managed equipment.
If you put in potion, it should be the 7th down.
If you type in potion of, it should come up, and it should come up
I
as
found it.
bigger. Yeah.
Good. I didn't have to sit there and go to your character sheet and go wah, 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 and start putting them there for you.
As he looks in his character sheet and sees that there's some extra fun things now.
John, you gave me a paralytic salve since I was able to make it. Now, does that cure paralysis, or does that
Yes.
Okay, cures it. Thank you.
So, do we just want to dump these other rope coils and there's 6 rope coils and 4 healing kits? Do we just want to put those in somebody's?
I got a bag of holding with lots of space.
I can take the other healing kits and bag.
I just want, Volusia, I just want you to be able to do like the clown trick with your bag of holding where you tie the ropes together and you just start funneling it out of the bag and it just keeps going.
Actually,
Just turn the bag upside down and go, watch this, kid.
I'll take 4 of the healing kits to have in my bag of holding for that if we already passed out the other 2. To Talia and
Yeah.
Gunhilda's.
Alright, so you took the last of the healing kits. We'll keep those in the bag, and then somebody else can just check the ropes and
How many ropes do we have? I'll just throw them in my bag.
6.
Alright, I'll add 6 ropes to mine.
Alright, that's the loot. All the loot's divvied.
Okay.
At least from this.
Man, what am I gonna
And-
do with 9?
Yes.
1,000 feet of rope?
Yes, Talia, I guess I could technically fly if I wild shape, because I can wild shape twice in a short rest.
I don't think we'll necessarily need that. I can stop at the peculiarity shop or even talk to, because we're right next to the carpenter's spot place as well, right?
Correct.
I walk over there, and since they're constructing the tower, I find okay, so it wouldn't be Griselda, but I find the one person who's the head of the carpenters, and I just ask them, do you guys have any pythons for sale for climbing? Because again, you're working on the tower with Thalavar, so I imagine you have some. If not, I can just go to the peculiarities shop.
I don't, unfortunately, do not have any, no.
Okay. Thank you. So then I'll head to the peculiarities shop, since I imagine that has regular gear as well from the couple of times you've been in there, right?
No, it's mostly junk.
It's mostly just junk, yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, it's
Where
full
is
of-
a normal shop here?
There's not one.
Is there a smithy?
Huh?
Is there
Yes.
a smithy?
Is there a smithy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will go to the smithy then.
I go to.
And once there, I will ask them, do you have pythons and climbing gear for sale?
Well, no, not exactly. Climbing isn't quite one of the things we have a lot of need for in the area, but I suppose I could try to make you some. They're not that tough. It's just a, spike.
Yeah, if you can make me a good ton of pythons, that would be helpful. Because I assume you've heard of what's going on in town.
I could likely make about, probably about 20 or so before the time of which, the morning when everyone has got to more or less be ready.
Good. How much is it going to cost?
Well, for this, pay me no more than 50 gold. I couldn't take the money for this. We need to look after our own.
Done. And I hand him 75 coins, and I just head out after that.
I peruse the armors, the full plates in particular, and see if there's anything better than what I'm wearing.
Okay, all right. Let me just.
You have an AC of like 21. Why
Let
the
me,
fuck do you need better armor?
Let me just consult my table of goods that are in this particular shop. One moment.
This keeps getting crit.
Nothing to see here, just a bunch of armor.
So looking over what's available here, you are not going to find anything better than what you got.
What about shields?
You can find shields, but it's not any better than your shield +1.
Swords?
Not any better than your long sword of life stealing.
What about better than my regular longsword?
You could find a match for your regular longsword.
But nothing better.
Nope.
Alright. Well, after that,
All right, fair enough. All right, so everyone has done their last-minute shopping and whatnot, I take it?
Unless there's some place that I can buy some magic items, perhaps a few scrolls. Maybe go talk to Gallo.
Yeah, there's nowhere else you could find anything magical, and you may be able to find Gallo, but I don't know if you'll catch him at the right moment.
It's worth at least a try.
I'd like to go with her.
Yep.
All right, so you make your way to the tower, and you check inside. You find a couple of additional mages in there that you don't recognize, but otherwise you do not seem to see Gallo at first glance.
Just kind of peek around the doorframe at people. I'm like, hey, are any of you able to tell me about enchantment?
Well, I mean, yes, but we're a little busy getting things ready. What are you looking for?
I need to know what this thing is. And I just kind of like hold out Bax's necklace.
Very well, very well. Let's take a look. He comes over and takes the necklace and looks at it. Waves his hand over it and casts a little cantrip spell. It doesn't much look more than an amulet that's got a blessing on it. Do you know anything? Do you know anything more about who or from where it came?
No, I just kind of bought it off of a merchant. And I'm just a little curious.
Well, from as best I can discern, it doesn't really look like it has much power to the actual blessing, but probably would give you some favor. Assuming you were actually in the favor of the particular blessing of the deity that it was booned against.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I take the amulet back and I walk out.
Oh, sorry, there's your answer, caster. I didn't do the reply thing in front of it successfully.
Just wanted to make sure. Thought that was gonna be the answer.
Yeah.
Since I'm there at the tower, I would ask them, do you happen to have any particular scrolls of spells that might be available for purchase that you'd be willing to part with?
Purchase scrolls. Well, at the moment, no. I don't have anything that's prepared with me. I was kind of caught off guard, see, when Galileo just popped through the other side and came to the tower in Neverwinter and said, "We need more mages in Leyland because there's foul weather afoot." And here we are.
Ah, I see. In that case, I won't trouble you anymore. If he called for additional mages from the tower, then off I go.
All right, very well.
So, I'm done with my shop.
I head back to the group and I kind of look at Azzy and I'm like, alright, you can drink now.
Thanks, Mom.
I have Titans for us. I can pick them up in the morning when they're all done. Alright, everyone. One last hurrah.
Hoorah.
Yep. So basically, you guys hang out at the encampment. Maybe you get a little drunk. Some of you do. Maybe some of you do a little something, paying people or not paying people. You know, generally.
Both of those references were into me. Okay, just call me out by name next time. All right.
All right. So.
Buying a whore.
All right. So as he goes off and gets drunk and sleeps with a prostitute. The rest of you guys, I don't know what you're doing because no one else really had much initiative in that regard. Beyond Knight's, particular insistence.
I will definitely drink a few glasses of stronger stuff than ale, but not much else. I don't need too much of a hangover.
Fair enough. All right.
I'm gonna be probably fighting and killing in the morning. I'll make sure I'm killing the right thing.
I'm going to completely abstain from alcohol for once, because I want to make sure that I have a clear head for this. So.
I'm just gonna find a nice place to go to sleep.
Yep, sounds like a plan. That's me yawning.
I know. I was gonna say you're not supposed to actually go to sleep, but
I'm up like an hour and a half past my bedtime, man.
Yep, Ash is gonna get some food and then she's just gonna go.
all right. Fair enough.
Food is definitely happening, also. So we are not drinking on an empty stomach like a fool.
Speak for yourself, apparently.
I just look at Ozzy. You have got to eat something.
Ezzy is nowhere to be found.
In the morning, he's gonna have to roll on the STD charts.
Actually, Ezzy's in the middle of town right now at Thalavar's trying to learn as much as he can from that fucking wizard. And help. With a flask. Or 5.
Mm-hmm.
Our wizard. Yeah, right.
All right, fair. So everyone turns in for the evening and rests up and has their various last-minute hurrahs or however they deal with the upcoming tension. So it's the next day. You see that early before dawn, a lot of the guards had started making additional fortifications around the city, and it basically started bracing and reinforcing the housing that has been set up as of this point. But in most instances, people are planning to kind of hunker down inside of the shrine and the tower as necessary.
How do the skies look?
Skies are looking pretty dark. There's definitely some storms going on to the southwest, but that's the only real direction you can see them in currently.
Now Chris gets a quick breakfast, goes and gets the pythons and brings them back, and then spends the rest of the time until we leave just in quiet thought / kind of battle meditation as he gets ready.
Caster stretches and then cast aid on Knockers as the and Talia again. For that extra 5 health for 8 hours.
All right, fair enough.
I mean, I don't have to prep spells, so, like, we don't really need to discuss where I get them from exactly, but,
Also, to be safe, I pat Addy on the back and cast Death Ward. Sure, please.
Just for extra luck for you.
Good luck,
For
buddy.
8
Good
hours.
luck.
You guys have so much faith.
I think you're gonna do
Just
great.
Oh, I think he'll do great, but just, safety.
Thanks.
It's like, I have lay on hands, and I always keep a point ready just in case.
I got cure light wounds. Yeah.
I got my divine channel effect where I just heal people around me. It's fine.
I mean, I've got plenty of spells to just make sure I'm not the one getting hit. I mean, I'm not getting hit.
I mean, I also have that, but I don't use that because I attack too much to benefit from having a shield with
Okay.
magic on me. I mean,
Second wind and 21 AC, so,
Mhm.
yeah, but now if someone insta-killed you, you don't get insta-killed. So it'll be fine.
That's true. You could also action surge through shit.
only once.
All right, so I imagine that everyone is going to congregate to head out to make their way towards the Thundering Cliffs.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Squads of guards that.
right. The squads of guards are there.
Yeah.
They are there to back you up. And let me just switch over here. All right, so you begin making your way west with these guards. Let me get my little fancy pointer. You go this way. And it's so far. It takes maybe about 4 hours through the highlands and the lowlands, mostly lowlands, to get across to the shoreline where you come to an area of cliffs that overlook the water. And you can hear the noises of the sea crashing against the rocks and the shoals. And now you understand why they are called the Thundering Cliffs, as the roaring noise of the water crashing upon the rocks makes it sound like thunder, even though there is additionally thunder overhead. You don't see any safe ways of getting down below to where the caves are, but you can see that there are the signs of people present from ships that are anchored in the little cove and various other crates and boxes and things that are out along the beach.
Well, I look to Gunhild and I hand her some of the pythons. Make us a line down there so we can thread our rope through and make sure that it's as safe as it can be.
How high up are we talking right now, John?
It's probably like 80 to 100 feet down from this particular vantage in the cliffs.
I guess I'm gonna take my hammer out of my bag and holding and start setting pythons into the cliffs.
All right, fair enough.
Hope everybody's got good acrobatic skills.
Oh no, this is athletics. This ain't acrobatics, son.
Please be athletics.
This is athletics.
Oh, yeah, you're right. At least I'll fly down.
But
All right, so as you are preparing and getting that set aside and all that, the storms are getting a little more severe, I guess is the word I'll use, in terms of the wind picking up and the frequency of the thunder.
do we start hearing people yelling Kalima from inside?
Nope, you're still too far away.
Oh, okay.
But if you could, you probably would hear them saying Kalima, yeah.
Or something. Whatever the Talos equivalent of Kalima is.
We'll call it Kalima.
So, as Gunhild begins saying the pythons in, I take out my rope of climbing, and I get it out, and I activate it, and I command it to fasten to the sturdiest thing that there is here, and then I set it down through the pythons to make sure that they are secure, that it has those guidelines, and then I tell it to knot so that it does reduce itself down to from 60 feet to 50 feet, but that first 50 feet, however many climb checks we need to make, people will have advantage on. From that point on, I will basically, after I make sure that I can fit through pretty easily, I take out the other parts of rope that we have. I think I have a set of personal rope that is an additional, where is my rope, because I know I grabbed it. I have another 50 feet of hempen rope, and I attach it to it so that it can create about 90 feet as I knot it as well, so I lose 10 feet, I would imagine, if I'm following their logic correctly. So if there's roughly about 90 feet of rope, and it's like a 10-foot drop down to the ground after that, which, what type of ground is the shoreline? Is it sand?
It's sand.
Or... Okay.
So additionally, while you're prepping the rope and beginning to send it downward, Gunhild, can you roll acrobatics save for me?
It's windy. I got to keep my balance.
That's right. So you are still kind of flying and making your way around. The wind maybe pushed you around a couple times, and you got a little close to hitting the cliffs, but because you're so accustomed to your particular method of flying with those boots, you didn't strike the wall, so you didn't take any damage.
That's what I was afraid of. Now, how far? I don't know exactly how far I need to go down because there are people down there, and I really don't need them seeing me coming from above.
Well, I mean, I guess that's a thing for you to figure out. And for the group to decide, I suppose.
We need the Pythons to go down a bit of a ways to make sure that we at least have handholds for the majority of the climb.
How
'Cause-
far?
Go ahead.
We're just trying to get down to the beach, right?
Yes.
How far would it be to circle?
From looking around, you can discern that there's no easily visible vantage to actually have a dip in the cliffs where you could make your way down to the beach. So from where you're standing, I mean, you could venture north or south to see if you can find a location, but from what you can see currently, you don't see any means of travel that would take you down to the beach.
Are we at the highest point of the cliffs then, or are the cliffs all just the same height?
It's
going?
mostly all the same height in this area.
All right, let's just, since we've already started this, we'll just stick with this then. No point in wasting time.
Yeah. That's basically why I decided to go this route, because even though it's not the safest, it gives us a better shot of getting things done before other things happen. And you said the cliffside is like, what, 80 feet?
Yeah, it's about 80 to 90 feet.
Okay, so my length of rope will just barely attach. To
Yeah, it should make it.
all. Okay. Cool. Do you need me to roll anything for while I'm knotting this rope?
Nope.
Okay. So, in regards to the Pythons, I'd say it's probably a majority of the way that they have to go down, just because I don't know what the handhold situation is like. And also, the cliffs are probably slippery since ocean.
Since ocean spray, water, wind, and
Right.
current weather conditions involving rain.
All right, I'll take them down as far as I'm comfortable. Though these guys are, I don't know how many are down there, but I can see at least a handful of people.
Does Gunhild actually see people, or is it just boats and boxes that you said, John?
Just boats and boxes.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'll as quietly as possible hammer all these pythons down to, say, what do you say, 10 feet above the ground? 20 feet above the ground?
Yeah, 10 feet above the ground would prevent us from taking full damage in game terms.
Yep, 10 or 20 feet. As much as you feel comfortable.
Well, I mean, worst case, I can fly away at 30 feet around so I can at least get away. Yeah, I start working my way down, putting pythons as, I don't know how often I'm supposed to put pythons. What?
Well,
5,
you've
10 feet?
got, yeah, I mean, you've got 20, and let's say we're going like 90 feet. So let's assume like every 5 feet, give or take, you're putting one in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously,
give it a shot.
the first few are really not a big deal in terms of getting them hammered in. There's not too much risk involved at the higher elevation because it's easier to maneuver by the cliffside, and as you start to go farther down, things get a little more sketchy with the rock formations. So you've got, let's say the first 3 hammered in.
Okay. So I'm about 15, 20 feet down.
Mm-hmm. So
I'll be right back.
at 20, go ahead and roll me another acrobatics to see if you are kissing the stone. Okay. And take 4 damage for being blown
Rock?
being blown into the rock face.
Okay. But I don't fall.
Nope. You still hold your composure.
I'll keep going. Might as well. I gotta get him. We gotta get down there somehow.
All right. So you do up to 30 feet down. Still moving. 35, 40 feet. So you're hammering in at 40 feet. Go ahead and give me another acrobatics check. And you are good. You don't touch anything. The gusts of wind that came along, you were ready for it, and you prepared, and you avoided being moved or jostled.
Do I see anything different down below me, or is it still just boats and boxes?
No, you still just see boats and boxes. Really, you can't quite see inside to the cave. It's kind of like a big cave mouth at the water level, and then there's some smaller satellite caves that are above that, built into the rock.
Okay. I'm taking the path that's putting me between the caves, the above ground cave openings, right?
Right. You're basically currently making a path that's taking you down off to the side of the cave mouth entrance, so you're not just dropping into the middle of the cave mouth.
Okay.
You're to the north side of that. And basically you're trying to conceal your path down along the cliff face to that area.
All right. I'll take the next chunk of distance, which I should be getting close to the ground.
Yeah, you get another 15 feet. So you're at about 60, 65 feet now. You only got maybe another 20 feet to go. Starting to see a little bit inside the mouth of the cave, but it's still kind of hazy and dark. And with the storm outside, you can't hear much commotion or anything going on inside. Just the flickering light of torches.
Okay.
So as you start hammering in the next one at about 70 feet, go ahead and I need you to roll a stealth check for me. All right. So craftily, using your hammer during the noise of the crashing waves and the thunder of the storms, you conceal your incessant smacks as you drive the particular metal shards into the rock face. And then no one is alerted to your presence. Continuing the last 10 feet for the last one that you're entering into the rocks. Give me another stealth check if you could. Nobody knows you were there.
I don't plan on landing per se, because I need to get a good look at the ground before I touch it. If it's Talos, I don't want to take a chance that there's, I don't know, something like a bear trap or fucking tripwire, or who knows with these people.
Yep, that's fine. So all the climbing apparatus has been punched into the rock, as it were, and I'm assuming, Koval, you're threading all the rope now.
Yeah, I'm gonna be threading the rope through, and then once it's through and I make sure that the rope of climbing is securely fastened to the sturdiest thing here, I will be the first one to go down and test the rope. Not only because I'm the heaviest, being a dragonborn, but should anyone fall, I want to make sure that either myself or Azzy is down there first to try and catch them to soften the blow somewhat.
All right, very well. So
Well, I
go
just
ahead.
want to point out that if we're unsure about someone in particular going down, I can cast Spider Climb on someone
Yes,
that we're
please.
worried about.
I think you have a taker.
Okay, so also Junie, I want to look around. Does Ash see any kind of birds, like not like birds, but like gulls or albatross or anything?
Nothing that you can see in this general vicinity given the storm.
Okay, have I seen them? I assume I would have seen them the last time we came to Leyland.
Yeah. Yeah, generally you see, seafaring creatures would be around. Yep.
So I just want to kind of put my hand on Talia's shoulder and be like, I got you. I have a plan. I want to be one of the last ones down because I don't need to go down the rope, but I need to get Talia down before.
Fair enough. Scoble, I assume you or Azzy are going to be the first ones, or one of the first ones to make the journey down.
I will make the journey down first. As I said, I think I weigh the most as a Dragonborn, so this will be a good test to make sure that it actually is secure. And I'm fairly good at athletics, much like Azzy is, so I will head down first.
Okay. All right, so as you begin, you start making your way down the rope.
Mm-hmm.
You get down probably about 15, 20 feet. You're still going. Everything seems to be going all right.
Okay.
Handholds are working. The rope is doing its thing. The weather is kind of obnoxious, but so far so good. You make it to about 35 feet.
Okay.
And your grip slips a little bit. So go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Alright. Luckily this will be an advantage since it's still within 50 feet. And the rope of climbing is knotted. Right?
Yep, you're correct.
Okay. 19!
Yep. So, yeah, you recover pretty well. No big deal. The loss of one grip was not enough to throw you.
Now, is that because the pythons come loose, or is it
Nope.
just because it's wet?
Just because it's wet.
Okay.
So you continue on your merry way down. 45 feet, 50 feet. You're starting to see the cave mouth below you. The wind is kind of getting a little obnoxious. You're getting kind of swayed around as you're slowly coming down in between with the rope in little segments. You make it to about 65 feet.
Yep.
And go ahead and give me another athletics check, please.
Alright. 11.
All right. So as you're crossing one of the pythons, it starts to slip out a little bit, but it doesn't quite come all the way out. But you know that it's going to be a problem for everyone else coming down later.
Okay. How many... Did Gunhill take all the pythons to go down, or did you not need them all?
He placed pythons probably about every, let's say, 8 feet, give or take. So it's like the equivalent of about 10 feet. So there still should be pythons left over.
Alright. I'm going to take one of the leftover pythons out of my own bag and jam one into this area where this one's coming loose, in a more secure spot.
All right. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
Yep. Here we go. This is the fun part. Alright. It's going to be a disadvantage for me due to my armor. That's unfortunate.
All right, so you don't time it quite right with the storm, and you go to drive the python into the rock, and a very audible hammering noise is definitely heard as you secure the python into the rock face. Listening in for a moment, you don't seem to hear any commotion or any loud clamors or commotion coming out of the cave down below you, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Right. Okay.
I hear this and I look up and give him a look like, really? And then I'm
Hey.
just gonna glue myself to the wall, the side of this cliff, hoping I can blend in with the wall.
I just give her a look and point to the loose python.
Give me a stealth. Give me a stealth as well, Evolution.
It's like, let's not start this.
Yeah, nobody sees you.
Do I notice anybody?
Nope, nothing more than you could see before.
Alright. After a few moments of silence, after I misplace the bang, and that I'm sure that the python's now secure, I will continue down, keeping an eye out for any more loose pythons.
All right, sure. So you continue your progress. You get to 75, 80 feet. You're almost down. And you make it down. You're on the sand.
Alright.
Don't move. Are there? Do I see any sand out of place?
No, with the waves, rolling in and washing back out, any signs of travel or traffic on it would basically be washed out within the next couple of pulls.
What about traps or anything that is visible of that nature? Tripwires, freaking, I don't know, Caltron.
Well, go ahead and give me a perception check. You do not detect any traps current on the sand outside, making your way in the cave.
Cool. All right. Thumbs up to everybody. We're good, at least where we're standing.
Okay. I need to see how far that's... Oh, okay. So I point at Azzy, who I imagine is kind of looking over the cliff face, and I cast message, and in a whisper I just say, "It's good, be wary of the slickness from the mist, and be on the lookout for loose pythons just in case."
Who's gonna have the hardest time coming down?
Well, I mean, that's tough to really know, but probably whoever's going to have the worst time with strength checks for athletics.
I've been with these people long enough to know, I think.
Who's the lightest person in the party, weight-wise? I mean, could I technically carry one of them down flying?
Either way, you can ignore me and take the equation because Ash already said she just didn't respect.
Yeah, I'm not going to be a problem. I won't have a problem getting down either.
I'm going to go with no. You wouldn't be able to support the weight flying to carry an additional person.
All right. Never mind then.
And for Knight's question,
Yeah, for Knight's question, it basically probably would be... It would be either Kita or Talia, but if they're going to have magical intervention, let's just use that word, then they probably are going to have an easier time.
What about Caster?
Well, Caster's got an okay amount of strength, but at the same time, he could maybe have a little bit of an issue.
Right. Well, I don't want loose python, I'll probably be able to get past something if something happens. I not only have the HP, or hit if something really bad happens, but I also have probably one of the highest strength here. So to alleviate as much strain as possible, I say we send Caster down next. Talia, Gunhild, Ash are all taken care of. Nocris is already down there. That just leaves myself and Caster. So get down.
Before Caster heads for the rope, I'm going to put my hand on their shoulder and cast guidance.
Okay. Alright, so Caster steps up to the plate and begins the climb down the rope. Everything's fine at the beginning, making it through 5, 10 feet, 15 feet, no problem, 20 feet, still no problem, 25 feet. Go ahead and give me an athletics check, please.
You will have it with advantage just because of what the rope climbing does when it's knotted.
And then a 1d4 plus to that is not going to change anything. You're still fine.
Well, they don't have to use the D4 on that one, do they? Does it have to be the first ability?
No, I don't think so.
What did you cast on them again?
Guidance.
Guidance.
So basically they get
I
a
linked
1d4.
it in the roll.
Yeah, they can add a 1d4 to a save.
Yeah.
But it's still one-time deal.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot that guy's just a one-time deal. And it's not
Right.
concentration for it to continue working.
So you continue along. 35 feet, 40 feet, 50 feet, 55, and then give me another athletics check, please.
If you're at the 50 mark or lower, then yeah.
Are you going to want to use the additional d4, or you want to stick with the 8? Okay, so you get a 10. So your handhold slips a little bit, and you start to fall down the rope a little bit. So go ahead and give me another athletics roll, please. So you re-grab the rope and stop your fall. And you dropped about an additional 15 feet before you were able to grab on. You're now at about 70 feet. You've only got about 20 to go to the bottom. Take a deep breath. Happily that you didn't fall. And continue your way down. 75, 80 feet. And you're on the ground. All right, so up next and or remaining left for the travel, we got Butch Cassidy and the Spider Sisters. But I assume you're going first there, Butch.
You know it, baby.
Or as he heads down, I will once again cast guidance.
Yep. Fair enough. All right, so you are pretty good at this whole climbing thing. You make it through the first 20 feet, no problem. Next 10 feet, 30, no big deal. 45. And then at 50, go ahead and give me a athletics check, please. At 50, The water and the rain and the back and forth on the rope pulls the python out. And the rope kind of sways dangerously there for a moment, and you almost get tossed, but because you're so good at this, go ahead and roll me a athletics with advantage. You gain your composure and don't slam against the rocks. The python is definitely not in the rock anymore. But you carry on. Continuing down the rope. 60 feet. 70 feet. 80 feet. And you're down.
That just leaves the Spider Sisters, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
The Spider
Sorry,
Sisters
I'm,
are
like,
up next.
halfway asleep over here.
Alright, so I kind of give Talia a little nod, and I will touch her shoulder and cast a spider.
So I can just basically freely walk down the side of the cliff. Let's do it. I'm at the bottom of the cliff. Yeehaw.
You are at the bottom of the cliff. Yeehaw.
Alright, and then I'm going to actually wild shape into a gull and just
caw, and then you're at the bottom.
yeah.
All right, so everyone is successfully down at the base of the cave. Thundering
I want to
Cliff.
stay in my wild shape form for a little bit and just kind of chill out on Nocris.
Okay.
And I want to hit myself with mage armor. So
Okay. So everyone is hanging out at the bottom of the cave. We are now successfully down. The storm is still going. Your vantage into the cave is oddly still obscured a little bit, despite being able to see light inside. And that's where we're going to hold it off until next week.
Sounds good. Thank God no one fell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Godberry and then have a berry because I'd like to have a hit point.
Gonna
one
be
hit
a
point
while.
is the difference between you making death saving throws and not. So, yeah.
Exactly.
Gonna be a while. Grab a good berry.
Grab a good berry.
New at McDemi's.
Good berries.
It's like the equivalent of like a healthy fry kind of snack. Good berries.
Yeah, it feeds you for the whole day. Granted, the ruling is you can eat as many
Wait.
as you want.
It feeds you for the whole day? No,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna want to buy that then.
That's why you should charge that premium price and call it avant-garde.
Oh, it's true. We could do that at
Call it a future food.
Call it bougie berry.
Bougie Berry. We're gonna sell it at McDemi's Lux. McDemi's High Life.
Alright, y'all. Well, thank y'all for the session. I'll see you guys later.
Mm-hmm. Until
Hey.
next week.
Night.
I'm on duty tomorrow, so you guys probably won't hear from me. So, have a good day.
Gonna
Night.
need that JHPP.
Night. Hopefully your day
Okay.
gets too bad tomorrow.
Thank you. Have a good
Yep.
one.
Good night.
Later. So glad no one fell.
Yep. I mean, I didn't want anyone really to have to fall, but at the same time, I was like, I can't not
Oh no.
take the rolls for the chance that it's going to happen. So
I completely agree, considering we are jamming Titans as quickly as we can into a rock face that is right next to the ocean. This is literally the definition of your adventure